It may surprise you to learn that eating the wrong kind of nuts on a regular basis can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 48%, especially if you're an older person. That figure makes some sense. It is based on studies that were carried out over a number of years and published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. The scary part is that certain common nuts found in kitchen cabinets have the potential to subtly raise blood pressure, induce inflammation, obstruct arteries, and potentially worsen cognitive impairment. Many seniors, however, eat them because they believe they are nutritious. One particular nut, whose identity will be disclosed later, has been linked to elevated levels of a chemical that, if consumed frequently, can damage your kidneys, liver, and brain. This nut, which low-carb dieters frequently claim is healthy, is likely already in your snack jar, yet it may be permanently harming aging bodies. But don't worry, this video has you covered. The most thorough guide to nut eating can be found here, along with information on which nuts are safest, heart healthiest, and brain healthiest, as well as which ones you should absolutely avoid. Additionally, make sure to read through to the conclusion, because there is a sinister fact about the most deadly nut that not many people talk about, and it may be really harming your health without you realizing it. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel so that we can post more videos like this one. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments as well. Here are the 4 kinds of nuts that seniors should eat without further ado. Fourth, the powerhouse that strengthens bones, almonds. Because of their high calcium and vitamin E content, which work together to maintain healthy bones, almonds are among the finest meals for an aging body. As we age, our bones become more porous and fragile by nature, increasing the risk of significant problems from fractures. After age 65, natural bone loss accelerates, but consuming just a quarter cup of almonds daily can help slow it down by supplying about 97 mg of calcium. Almonds include magnesium, a nutrient that many elderly persons lack. In addition to calcium, this is the distinctive quality of almonds. As a transporter, magnesium keeps calcium from clogging your arteries and instead makes it reach your bones. As the risk of cardiovascular disease rises with age, the heart benefits from almonds' good monounsaturated fats, which also help lower bad LDL cholesterol levels. I advise elders to eat 15 to 20 almonds a day, preferably raw or dry roasted, without salt. Due to their high fiber content, around 3.5 grams per serving, almonds are an excellent tool for combating constipation, which affects about 40% of the aged population. Above all, research from Tufts University has demonstrated that almonds can help shield brain cells from oxidative damage, which many people fear will occur as they age. Choose almonds that have their skins on because they contain flavonoids that, when paired with vitamin E, double the antioxidant activity of the nuts. Caution: make sure to thoroughly chew almonds before eating because they might be a choking hazard for older individuals who have swallowing difficulties. Thirdly, walnuts, a nut that enhances mental performance. Walnuts stand out as one of the finest brain foods for seniors because of their remarkable resemblance to the brain, the organ they nourish. Compared to other common nuts, these exceptional nuts are the best source of alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Given that omega-3 fatty acids support neurotransmission and maintain the integrity of brain cell membranes, this is particularly important for older adults' brains. According to a recent study in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts per day for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in mental flexibility and cognitive processing speed. The unique polyphenolic compounds found in walnuts may prevent the onset of neurodegenerative illnesses, such as dementia and Alzheimer's, by directly reducing inflammation in neural tissues and piercing the blood-brain barrier. Many people are unaware that walnuts also contain melatonin, and as people age, their melatonin levels often decrease, which can cause sleep issues for many elderly people. Before going to bed, some people discover that eating a handful of walnuts improves their quality of sleep. Walnuts are also very good for cardiovascular health because they include polyphenols, which reduce oxidative stress, and arginine, an amino acid that supports blood vessel function. Actually, by helping the elderly maintain the flexibility of their arteries, walnuts can improve the effectiveness of blood medications. Try to eat 7 or 9 halves of walnuts each day for maximum benefits, and store them in the refrigerator to prevent their delicate oils from going rancid. Additionally, you may maintain your fine motor skills by practicing them whenever you get the opportunity. Walnuts' naturally protective flavor shouldn't deter you. Actually, their strong antioxidants are indicated by the slight bitterness. Second, eating pistachios can help you manage your blood pressure. Pistachios could be the most underappreciated nut when it comes to the health advantages for seniors, particularly in terms of blood pressure regulation, because of their high potassium content, about 285 mg per serving, and low salt content. Pistachios are a distinctive and healthful snack choice because they help keep the kidneys from accumulating salt as we age. This mineral balance is particularly crucial for the elderly. Like other prescription drugs, it may reduce systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, but without the unfavorable side effects. Pistachios' lutein and zeaxanthin should also be emphasized, since by focusing on the macula of the eye, these carotenoids guard against age-related macular degeneration, which is the primary cause of vision loss in people over 60. Seniors don't have to worry about other harder nuts damaging their teeth and gums, while still enjoying the delicious crunch of pistachios. Antioxidants' characteristic green and purple colors are not only visually appealing, but they also help combat free radicals, which accelerate the body's aging process. Elderly people benefit much from pistachios due to their usefulness. Shelling them naturally slows down consumption, preventing overeating and providing a thoughtful eating experience that can be calming and stimulating for cognitive function. According to the International Journal of Obesity, seniors can better regulate their intake by using the obvious empty shells as a visual cue of consumption. Look for half-open pistachios so you may still benefit from shelling them even if you have arthritis in your hands. Try to consume 49 pistachios, or around 1 ounce of unsalted or mildly salted pistachios every day. The 3 g of fiber per ounce of pistachios is highly beneficial for controlling blood sugar levels for the 25% of Americans over 65 who have diabetes or pre-diabetes. First place, Brazil nuts. A solution for thyroid problems. We gave Brazil nuts top honors because they support thyroid function, a crucial but occasionally disregarded aspect of healthy aging. The best-known food source of selenium is these amazing nuts, which contain 96 micrograms or 137% of your daily requirement in a single nut. This is crucial since up to 20% of people over 65 suffer from thyroid abnormalities, and many cases of these conditions go undiagnosed because their symptoms are frequently confused with those of aging. Brazil nuts are a great source of selenium, which is essential for thyroid hormone activation, which supports energy production, metabolism, and mood regulation. The particular fatty acids in Brazil nuts not only help the thyroid, but also maintain myelin, the protective covering that surrounds nerve cells and frequently deteriorates with age. This myelin upkeep may help seniors maintain their reflexes, reaction times, and cognitive processing speeds. Compared to synthetic selenium tablets, the selenium found in Brazil nuts is more readily available and easier for your body to use due to its organic link. Brazil nuts have a rich, creamy texture that makes even a small amount enjoyable, and they are so potent that you only need a handful to experience their benefits. In fact, because of the harmful effects of too much selenium, I recommend that elders eat no more than 1 or 2 Brazil nuts every day. Look for Brazil nuts that are still in their shells when you go shopping. The nutrients are retained for a longer amount of time by this natural packing. Because of their high fat content, they should be kept in the refrigerator to prevent spoiling. Brazil nuts are an additional benefit for elderly people who experience constipation because of their fiber and natural oils, which help to preserve digestive regularity. Because of their naturally sweet and buttery flavor, they are an excellent alternative to less nutritional treats, which many older people find comforting. According to the most startling new research, certain antioxidants in Brazil nuts may slow the telomeres, the caps on chromosomes that typically shorten with age, and thereby affect cellular aging. These nuts are ideal if you are 65 years of age or older. We'll talk about nuts in this new section, which some seniors may want to avoid or consume sparingly. Inflammatory trigger number 4. Peanuts. Despite their ubiquitous use, many older adults have trouble with peanuts because of the risks they provide. First of all, you should be aware that peanuts are not actually nuts, they are legumes that are grown underground. This makes them easy targets for mold and aflatoxins, which are mycotoxins produced naturally by some molds that, if taken repeatedly, can damage the liver and raise the risk of cancer. This risk increases as we age, since our body's detoxifying systems invariably become less efficient. The fact that peanuts include proteins that may trigger inflammatory reactions in certain people, even in the absence of a true allergy, is even more concerning for the elderly. Joint pain, cardiovascular stress, and cognitive decline are already more common in older adults. This mild irritation can exacerbate all three. In comparison to the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, the majority of Americans currently ingest an excessive amount of omega-6 fatty acids, and this issue is exacerbated by peanuts' high omega-6 content. Because peanuts contain vitamin K, many doctors fail to inform their elderly patients about the potentially deadly interaction between peanuts and blood thinners like warfarin. Commercial peanut butters exacerbate these issues for aging cardiovascular systems by adding sugars, hydrogenated oils, and more sodium. There is already plenty to worry about for the 63% of American seniors who have hypertension even without extra salt. Natural peanut butter has the potential to raise blood pressure. Another problem is that improper storage causes peanuts to go rancid and release harmful free radicals. Acrylamide, a substance that may have cognitively damaging effects, is also produced during the routine commercial dry roasting of peanuts. For those who are already worried about memory loss, this is particularly concerning. Switching to one of our recommended nuts, even for only 3 days a week, can help you get the nutrients you need while reducing your exposure to these dangerous compounds. Even if you've been eating peanuts on a regular basis without experiencing any visible negative effects. 3 cashews, the sugar spike that isn't immediately noticeable because of their high carbohydrate content and glycemic effect. Cashews are particularly dangerous for elderly people compared to actual tree nuts. Cashews have a lot more carbohydrates, about 9 g per ounce, and fewer fiber protective compounds. In people over 65, about 20% have diabetes and 40% have pre-diabetes. They may suffer from a blood sugar response as a result of this. Given the favorable health reputation of cashews, this is very concerning. Many older persons overindulge in nuts without considering the potential impact on their blood sugar levels. Cashews provide a choking hazard due to their smooth and curved shape, which should not be disregarded, particularly by those who have swallowing difficulties among elderly. They are also one of the most aspirated nuts because cashews contain a lot of oxalates, which are molecules that can bind to calcium in the intestines and reduce calcium absorption. They are not very nutritious, a significant problem for older adults who are already at risk for osteoporosis. These same oxalates significantly enhance the chance of kidney stones for people who are already at a higher risk of getting them beyond the age of 60. The processing of cashews has an additional hidden issue. The long processing needed to extract urushiol, a toxic substance also present in poison ivy, causes cashews to lose a significant portion of their nutritional value. Many store-bought versions are overly salted and oil roasted, adding sodium and unhealthy fats that can exacerbate heartburn and high blood pressure. Enzyme inhibitors found in cashews may make it more difficult to digest proteins for elderly people who often struggle to digest food and absorb protein on their own. This is particularly troublesome. A lot of people are unaware of this. The creamy texture of cashews, which makes them easy to overeat, may be a factor in weight gain during a stage of life, when maintaining a healthy weight becomes more difficult. Regularly replace cashews with walnuts or almonds for a healthier snack that has better nutritional qualities and presents fewer risks to aging bodies. 2. Despite their delicious flavor, macadamia nuts are a serious health concern to the elderly due to their exceptionally high calorie density. With almost 200 calories per ounce, they are the most calorie-dense nut on the market. The already challenging challenge of managing weight in the elderly is made even more stressful by the fact that metabolic rates invariably decline with age. They have an exceptionally high fat content, about 22 g per ounce, which further reduces the gallbladder's already reduced effectiveness. The 15% of seniors who have asymptomatic gallstones may not notice them ordinarily, but macadamia can trigger painful bouts. Apart from their high calorie content, macadamia have one of the highest amounts of saturated fat, 3 g per ounce, which can increase LDL cholesterol, a concern for many older adults. They represent a significant risk to the oral health of elderly people with crowns, bridges, or fragile teeth due to their density and hardness. For people over 65, when enamel deteriorates from wear and decreased calcium absorption, this is particularly troublesome. Macadamias are among the priciest nuts in terms of practicality, which may lead seniors who are watching their budget to select less expensive types that are more likely to be rancid or improperly stored, exposing them to more harmful oxidized lipids. Commercially accessible macadamia already have a poor nutritional profile, and their excessive salinization and oil roasting add more sodium and damaged lipids. Their rich, buttery flavor may cause overindulgence, especially in elderly adults who prefer stronger flavors and may have less sophisticated palates. Although research on the advantages of nuts for heart health has mostly disregarded or minimized the effect of high-fat nuts like macadamia, it is concerning that many older individuals eat them in the mistaken belief that they are good for their hearts. If you've been eating macadamia on a daily basis, you might want to think about switching to pistachios because they have a much greater nutritional profile that is particularly suitable for aging bodies. The first are pine tree nuts for several reasons that are especially severe for the elderly. Pine nuts, a known medication disruptor, are among the most problematic nuts for them. It is extremely troubling because they contain compounds that interact with over 60% of the medicines written for elderly patients, as this could potentially reduce the effectiveness of these medications or result in negative side effects. It is well known that many prescription medications can interact with one another, but this is particularly true for blood pressure meds, statins, and certain antidepressants that are administered to patients over 65. A serious warning sign is that the majority of physicians and pharmacists never discuss the possibility of food and medication interactions with their patients. The most concerning is pine nut illness, which results in a harsh metallic taste that can linger for weeks after consumption. Given the link between taste changes and decreased appetite and nutritional status, this may seem inconsequential, but for older persons, it can have fatal consequences. Research indicates that up to 42% of people affected experience a significant decrease in body weight. The illness appears to be more prevalent in older adults, which could be related to changes in taste receptors and detoxification pathways that come with age. Polyunsaturated fats, which are abundant in pine nuts, have the ability to oxidize rapidly and produce inflammatory compounds. Seniors who are already coping with inflammatory conditions like arthritis may find this concerning because of their small size, and slippery texture aspiration may develop. This is especially concerning for elderly people who have swallowing difficulties or who take mouth-drying medications, which affects over 70% of seniors who take multiple prescription drugs. Protein digestion may be hampered by the enzyme inhibitors in pine nuts, even though the body's capacity to absorb proteins naturally declines with age. Due to their high oil content and use in pesto, which is their most popular culinary use, pine nuts are a calorie-dense food that can exacerbate weight management problems that are typical after the age of 65. The main cause of vision loss in the elderly, age-related macular degeneration, may be accelerated by compounds found in particular types of pine nuts. According to alarming new research, you should avoid these 4 nuts after the age of 65. A person's dietary decisions on which nuts to eat and which to avoid can have a significant impact on their health, vitality, and cognitive function as they age. Last but not least, remember that over time, even small changes applied consistently yield huge results. Now is your moment to speak. Is there proof that dietary modifications like adding or removing specific nuts have an impact on your health? Tell me which nut changed your life the most. Before we begin, please let me know where you are coming from today. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss any of our top health advice. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. In the comments box, share your ideas and anecdotes. We appreciate it.